Yo, what's going on, man? Today is March the 3rd, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. I'm live on Twitter right now. I'm also live on YouTube as well. A lot to talk about, a lot to get into. We got a 6-game card for today. So hopefully we can break it down and find some winners. I got a couple bets that I placed. I did a morning show this morning. Shout out to everybody who tune into the morning shows. I'm doing those 7 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday. Uh, Available by podcast as well on all podcast streaming platforms. The Cashed It with Chris show. Cashed It with Chris is what it's called. Where I try to get ahead of these lines. So might have bit me in the butt a little bit earlier today, but I still like the play that I gave out this morning, and I'm gonna still rock with it as well. As you guys join, I just ask that you hit the like button for me if you guys are enjoying the show. Most of the people have been here before. Also, if you know somebody in Massachusetts, man, put them on. Tell them come through. Tell them we all trying to cash as a community. Tell them I do these shows every single day. Tell them I don't charge y'all anything, and tell them that it's a real good positive community over on this side. So Massachusetts sports gambling just got legalized for Massachusetts. I think today, and they got a couple nice sports books out there in Massachusetts. So definitely shout out to Massachusetts, shout out to Boston. People can back their Patriots, back their Celtics, yada yada yada, etc. So yeah, shout out to Massachusetts, the state of Massachusetts. But let's get into it for today, real quick. As I always do, recap of yesterday. Did go 2-1 on official plays. Gave out Charlotte Detroit team total to go the full game to go under 226. It cashed. It was a sweaty cash, but it cashed. Detroit team total to go under 110.5 was not as sweaty. That cashed as well. And then the Knicks first half did not cash. Shout out to, I tweeted it last night, but shout out to the Kings. They actually played defense. Brunson actually looked good in the first half. I think he had 19 points in the first half, but wasn't enough. They didn't play enough defense. Actually got out rebounded, which was weird because you don't typically see that. You don't see the Knicks at their best get out rebounded, but they got work last night in Sacramento. So shout out to Sacramento though. I know a lot of people was off from yesterday, but they came through yesterday. So first half didn't cash, but 2-1 day overall added a little bit of money to the bankroll. So let's get into it for today. We got a couple games that I really like. I got 5 official plays that I want to share. Kind of built off of 2 of the early. Well, I gave out 3 plays that I like early on the morning show, and I added 2 more. Also got a lean 2 leans actually that I want to get there on, but I haven't placed them. And if I do place them, it'll probably be smaller bets because I don't want to overexpose myself too much, especially with more basketball tomorrow. I'm pretty low. I'm a pretty low volume better. I don't bet a lot of units on the same night. So grab my iPad real quick and check. Let me just check the lines. It's one line I want to check specifically. It's actually a first quarter line that I'm debating playing. Yeah, I think I might get there. So I'm gonna write it down. I'll talk about it in a few minutes. Yeah, I'll talk about it in a few minutes. But let's get into it. Let's get into the plays for today. So first game up that I want to talk about. Let me just make sure I got my notes up. I want to talk about. If I can get my notes up. Hold on. Should probably have these up already. I want to talk about. Let's talk about the. I don't have a play in the Wizards in the Hawks game. We talked about this game on Wednesday, and we did take the under. We took the over when it opened at 234. Of course, the total comes out a little bit higher today. It opens at 238, and nobody touches it. Right? It kind of makes sense. That people bet it up to 238, And if you tell me Wednesday, then you cashed on the over. Today I don't like the total to go over. I actually think it's an under spot, but I didn't play it. Atlanta is on the first leg of a back-to-back. They host the Boston Celtics tomorrow in Atlanta. And then Washington has a game against the Philadelphia 76ers coming up as well. It's not a back-to-back, but these teams shot the ball, like a very high percentage last game. So I actually think the total goes under. I didn't play it, but if I'm playing anything in this game, I'm playing Clint Capella. Just looking at Capella since Quinn Snyder has become the head coach, I see a lot of like him and Trae Young, him and DeJounte Murray seem like Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert to me. They run a lot of pick and roll, a lot of lobs, a lot of putbacks for Capella as well. So I'll be looking at Capella points plus rebounds. It's something that I talked about on the last show. Somebody DM'd it to me the other day as well, and it actually cashed. So I think that, I think he's something like 3-0 or 4-0 to the over on his points. So if you just want to take his points, I think they're 11.5. But I see him being able to score. We know the Wizards don't have, too much paint protection. I mean, Daniel Gafford, Kuzma, I guess, but they a lot of the times those guys get switched on those guards being Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, and they end up, on the perimeter. And then Capella can take advantage down low by getting offensive rebounds, putbacks, rim runs, those type of things. So I like Capella points at 11.5. It does feel like a game where he should probably go over his points. So it's my strongest lean in the game. And like I said, I also lean the under in Atlanta and Washington. Atlanta, Washington. I didn't play either one of these, but I do lean the under 238, and I lean Capella to go over his 11.5 points. Also, DeJounte actually, even though they won the game and they scored so many points last game, DeJounte actually had a bad game yesterday. So a bounce back game for DeJounte. I could see that in play as well. We know Washington gives it up. They typically give it up. And Trae Young had a good game last game. So, maybe they'll key in on him a little bit more, and DeJounte will be the person that goes off. I think his points are sitting at like 21.5, 20.5, something like that. So those are the three plays that I'd be looking at in that game. Really, really hard to dictate how well, who's going to do what for the Washington Wizards, especially when they have a full squad. They do have Porzingis, Kuzma, and Bradley Beal in this game. Porzingis had a career high. I think he had 43, 45 points, was just hitting 3 after 3 in the last game. I don't think that the Wizards give it up, again, like I don't think that Atlanta gives it up again like that. But then again, Atlanta doesn't play a lot of defense. So I'm not going to try to pick which one of those guys are going to go off. I'll just stay on the sideline as far as their props. But strongest looks in that game, Capella over 11.5 points, and the game to actually go under the 238. And then I also be looking at a bounce back spot for DeJounte, but I didn't play anything officially in that game. Next game I want to talk about just real quickly is the Atlanta and Miami game. This is a game that I am interested in. You guys, I don't have the updated line. Matter of fact, I should probably add that. So let me add that real quick. Cleveland and Miami. Cleveland is not 1.5 point favorites anymore. They're actually 2-point dogs. Miami shifted to the favorite, and the total in this game has dropped to 212.5 points on most books from the 214.5 that you guys see it at now. So this morning when I did the morning show, I gave out the Miami Heat as I gave out the Cleveland Cavaliers minus the 1.5 as one of my favorite plays. Of course, that was before the Darius Garland news. Darius Garland was not present at shoot around. And he's probably not going to play with the quad injury. So I'm going to still let it ride because I just feel like Miami continues to be overvalued in the market. They're one of the worst offensive teams in the league, but they do hang their hat on the defensive end. For me, it still feels like Cleveland should be able to sneak out a win. Miami's also on the first leg of a back-to-back where they are 2-7 against the spread in those games. I think they've failed to cover at least 6 in a row in that spot as well. So I think Cleveland's a better team in this spot. I think Cleveland has a lot to play for as far as seeding in the playoffs. And I think Miami continues their downward spiral of losing to these teams that have a really good record. So if you want to hop on it now, you get a much better number, on Cleveland plus the 2. But I did take a minus the 1.5 earlier, not telling you guys to take that play at all. I could actually cash out right now or hedge it because, the line's pretty much the same. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ride with Cleveland in the spot and leave it as a play that I really, really like in this one. Also like Caris LeVert kind of sliding in. Don't know, what happens from the bench production without Caris LeVert being a part of that bench, but I think Cleveland plays enough defense; they should be able to get it done today. So those are my thoughts on that game. Portland and Miami, Portland, the Trailblazers go to Philly. Well, they're in Philly already for this game tonight, and this is an interesting game, man, because I hadn't really thought about this, but Portland is coming off a game where they actually got smacked up the other day against the Boston Celtics. They were catching 9 points or 10 points in that game, and caught Boston at a really really bad time. Boston was like the sleeping dog that you didn't want to wake up. They were coming off 2 back-to-back losses, back-to-back overtime games as well. One happened against the Knicks over the weekend, and then the other one happened in Cleveland on the second leg of that back-to-back without Jason Tatum, without Jaylen Brown. I'm sorry, without Al Horford. And then they came back home and they absolutely smacked these guys up. Smacked Portland up. Portland never had a chance in that game. So Portland, to me, feels like they should be extremely motivated. Going through the beat writer stuff, it still feels like, they're trying to make a run in the Western Conference to get in that play-in game, try to potentially get that 8th seed. I think it's a buy-on spot for Portland off a really bad loss. They typically bounce back well in this spot. I don't think that they're going to win the game at all, but it does feel like 9 points is a lot to cover. On the opposite side, you get Philly. Philly's been absolutely on fire. This team has been red hot recently. They're coming off of a road trip, I think, of 5 games. They won 4 of them. The only one that they lost was on the second leg of a back-to-back when they had to go to Dallas to play against the Mavs, who were kind of just waiting for them. And the Mavs were also coming off a loss in that game as well. So I looked at, or shout out to my guy Austin, because Austin actually pointed this out. But if you look at home favorites that are coming off a 5-game home trip, a 5-game road trip, that are laying 9 points or more, they don't do well in this spot. I do feel like the number is a tad bit inflated. If I'm playing the game, I'm taking the points with Portland. But I think specifically early in this game is where I would look to play this one. I think Portland first quarter feels like the best spot because either Portland's going to get smashed from the beginning or they're going to keep it close, and then I think they kind of fade in the second half. Portland they did get Nurkic back in the last game. He only played 17 minutes in that game. He said he felt like he could have played more based on, what I was reading. They will need him to kind of slow down Embiid. We know that, Portland is barbecue chicken when it comes to, paint points allowed, especially if they don't have Nurkic. If you're just relying on Drew Eubanks, good luck. But it should be some regression for Portland. I think they only scored 83 points in their last game. So coming off a 20-point loss against a team that's coming off of a nice winning streak, the 76ers beat they beat the Indiana Pacers the other day, scored 140 plus points in that game. So if I'm playing a spread in this one, I think I'm taking the points with Portland. But I think Portland first quarter plus the 3 is the best look. I might sprinkle on that. I think Portland first quarter plus the 3. I think that they do keep it close early in this one. I think Portland first half plus the 5 could also be in play in this one. To me, it just kind of feels like a spot you want to fade the 76ers in. But Portland, recently they've not been good against, good teams. They did get 2 wins, during this road trip. But those wins came against the Detroit Pistons and the Orlando Magic, and they were, favorites in both of those games. Actually, they were dogs against the Magic, but they were favored in the game against Detroit. So, post All-Star game against teams that have a winning record, they're not, that good at all. So it kind of makes me want to sit on the sideline. But if I'm playing the game, I'm playing Portland first quarter. I think that's the best look in this game. As far as prop wise, I did play James Harden assists over 9.5. I'm sorry, not over 9.5. It's open at 10.5. I played it over 10.5. I got it last night at minus 122. And this is a pretty easy one. So Harden had 14 assists earlier against Portland, the same matchup. He had 17 assists in back-to-back games against the same team last year. His last two performances against the Indiana Pacers, against the Portland Trailblazers. So 14, 17, and 17 assists in his last 3 matchups against his team. He's also coming off a 20-assist game against the Pacers. He had 10 assists against the Bucks, 13 assists against the Mavs last week as well. In his last 3 games, he's averaging 15 assists on 23.5 potential assists. And then on the opposite side, you want to make sure the matchup is good. Portland is allowing the 3rd most assists per game since the All-Star break. They've given up 13 to Jaden Ivey, 11 to Trae Young, and 10 to Sabonis as well in just, a handful of games since the All-Star break. So if Jay Ivey can get 13, I know that Portland's gonna come in here, and probably be ready to play because they are coming off a big loss. But good luck trying to stop Harden, who has the ball in his hands so frequently. So I played Harden over his 10.5 assists. Couldn't talk anybody off taking Harden 12 assists, honestly, if you want to get the plus money and don't want to, have the juice. Like I said, he is coming off, a few games where he's had, you can't be scared of these assist lines because Portland's giving up the third most assists, similar to Tyrese Halliburton yesterday against the Rockets. I know that the game went to overtime, but Halliburton had 19 assists last night. So Harden's gonna have the ball in his hand, just probably as much as Halliburton had it in his hand last night. So I like that look as well. Also doubling back, I forgot about this play. Jimmy Butler, I did play his points plus rebounds, and it's a field play. I got a little bit of stats, but it's more of a field play. Just me feeling like they need a win. I don't think that they're gonna get it, but the Cavs are a very strong defensive team, and they're gonna make it hard for these other players to score on the Miami Heat. So I think I'm leaning on Jimmy Butler. I've already made an official play. It's not a lean play, but I'd lean on Jimmy Butler to be able to go over his points plus rebounds. So I always talk about these totals that are low. So 216 or lower. Jimmy Butler is 5-8 to the over on this number. To me, it just kind of feels like, in that spot where you get a low total, it means that they're not going to score a lot of points. So Jimmy Butler is probably somebody that they're going to rely on a little bit more than often. So also in three games as a home dog, which they were when this line opened, he's 2 for 3 to this number, to the over as well. He's also coming off a 28.5 rebound game, 28.5 rebound game, which is good for 33 points plus rebounds in the same matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And he said in the post-game interview that he don't really check the standings. He said he don't really know where they play, where they lie in the standings. But he said that, they told him, and he was like, well, I guess we need to start winning games. So to me, it just kind of feels like he'll do everything that he possibly can. He is the best player on his team, in my estimation, by far. I know that they have Bam, but Bam can be a tad bit inconsistent. He also going to have his hands full with Jared Allen and Evan Mobley today as well. So I like Jimmy. I played his points plus rebounds at 27.5. I think that you can actually get a better line than I got at minus 122, but I did play it at 122. So 3 official plays so far. Cavs minus the 1.5. Of course, like I said, you guys don't have to ride that one. And if you want to take it, you can get a better number. Darius Garland hasn't been officially ruled out, but I anticipate that he won't play just because he wasn't at shoot around. And, the Cavs probably don't want to take any chances with a quad injury for Darius Garland as they kind of make a playoff push. So if you like the +2, take the +2. If not, it's cool. Jimmy Butler over 27.5 points plus rebounds. I just talked about that one. And then Harden over 10.5 assists. And I'm really, really close to putting a sprinkle on Portland first quarter plus the 3. I think that they can keep the game close. Maybe even potentially had a lead at the end of the first quarter. Seems like a sleepy spot for the Philadelphia 76ers in this one. So those 3 official plays. And then moving along, I want to touch on, I'm almost done. I want to touch on this Nuggets game just really, really quickly. Typically a game I really wouldn't look at. And then I'll go through a little bit of the Lakers game as well, just to kind of give you guys some analysis. So the Nuggets and the Spurs, a game I typically wouldn't look at. The Nuggets they were laying 12 points. It's up to 13 now. The total in this one's moved from 234 up to 237.5. So the books are anticipating points, and probably by the Denver Nuggets in this spot, if I'm guessing who they think the points are going towards. So the reason why I'm interested in this game is because of how the Nuggets played their last game. I don't know if people stayed up and watched that game, but the Nuggets got annihilated by the Chicago Bulls. And the Bulls don't score. They don't run fast. They don't, outscore people. None of that. But the Bulls look like the Detroit Pistons from back in the day. The bad boy Detroit Pistons are the ones with, Chauncey and Rasheed Wallace and, Rip Hamilton the other day. I mean, they were like just manhandling this Nuggets team. And it's interesting because the couple times I talked about fading the Nuggets on this show, I always say that if there's a glaring hole on the Denver Nuggets, it is their ability to give up points in the paint. They gave up 66 points in the paint. I'm pretty sure, I didn't check it, but I'm pretty sure that's the most points they ever gave up in the paint. I went back and I looked at the post-game interviews from Coach Mike Malone. Jokic actually talked about, the comments made by Kendrick Perkins about, whether he was supposed to be an all-star. I mean, whether he was supposed to get MVP and yada, yada, yada. And there's actually an article written in the Denver Post where it talks about teams using the game against the Bulls, because they lost that game by 20. Teams using that game as a blueprint for how to stop or how to beat this, this team. So for me, hearing all of those things, I think that the Nuggets absolutely obliterate the Spurs in this spot, and I think they do it early. Joker also plays pretty much, most of the first quarter. Jamal Murray got locked up last game. Of course, you have really good guards on the other side with Patrick Beverley and Alex Caruso, but the San Antonio Spurs don't. The San Antonio Spurs have none of that. So I think I think the Nuggets should dominate this one early, get out to a big lead, never look back in this spot. A couple things I looked at. So I looked at after the All-Star break, teams coming off a previous home loss as a favorite, where they're a road favorite of 12 points or more, typically a smash spot. They went in the first quarter by about 6 points in that spot. You also look at after the All-Star break, teams that have 3 days of rest or more, because interestingly enough, you typically don't see teams you don't see teams laying 12 points when they're only on 1 day's rest and their opponent has 4 days rest, because the Spurs do have 4 days of rest. And it's an absolute smash spot as well in the first quarter and first half. To me, it just feels like that, if you go through and look at, all of the advanced stats and analytics, the Nuggets just they really, really are one of the most elite offenses that we've seen, specifically in the first quarter. The San Antonio Spurs are not. They're actually the exact opposite. So I think the Nuggets smash them here. I did take the Nuggets first quarter and first half on the spread, minus the 4.5. I know it's a pretty big number, but I'm willing to lay it. It's a smaller play. You can call it a half unit play, quarter unit play. But I did put a little something on the Nuggets first quarter and the Nuggets first half, minus the 4.5 and minus the 7.5 in this spot, thinking that they probably be winning the first quarter by 7 or 8 points and probably build a lead of about 15, at least 12 at halftime. I think it's a double-digit game at halftime. So those are my if the Spurs are going to do something, then maybe they'll pick it up in the second half. They do have a pretty much a full roster in this spot, and that's one of the few times this season. Well, in recent times that they've had a full roster. Spurs typically are very, very depleted. So to me, it just feels like a good bounce back spot. I think the Nuggets probably want to get that bad taste out their mouth, and it still feels like they have something to prove, because no matter what they've done, best record in the West, Grizzlies starting to slip. KD just got hurt, so Phoenix not gonna catch him anyway. Kings, still kind of there, but this Nuggets team is the best team, and essentially they didn't win the Western Conference already. They still haven't done anything, and Mike Malone talked about that in the post-game interview. So I like the Nuggets first quarter, first half spread is what I played, minus the 4.5 and minus the 7.5. Big numbers, I know, but those are what I'm looking at. And then Toronto and LA. So my Lakers opened as a 1-point favorite. They've since flipped to a 2.5-point dog to the Toronto Raptors. I'm not 100% sure why. This is very reminiscent of the game against the Memphis Grizzlies the other day, when the Lakers kind of opened as favorites and then the Grizzlies closed as favorites. The total hasn't moved all day. It opened at 224.5. I only see it up to 225 on Caesars. Shout out to, who was it? Somebody gave me some valuable information on the morning show. It was Paul Barcinano. I think it's how you pronounce that. Hope I ain't butchered the last name. I think it's Barcinano. So what Paul said was he was looking at Toronto Raptors team total to go under, I think. He was saying that the Raptors are averaging just 105.5 points, which is the second fewest. And they have the 26th rated offense. They're 30th in effective field goal percentage and 28th in pace post All-Star break. All of those numbers are post All-Star break. You look at the Lakers, this team is the second best defensive rated team post All-Star break. They only allowed 110 points per game, but only 107.5 at home. They're also second in opponent field goal percentage, second in opponent three-point percentage, and third in opponent free throws attempted, because they've not been fouling. So all of those numbers kind of trend towards the under for me. If I'm playing a game, I'm only looking towards the under. The Raptors are 5-3 to the under post All-Star break, with one of those unders actually coming in overtime against the Wizards last weekend. even in that overtime game, they still combined for about 214 points between themselves and their opponents in 8 games post All-Star break. And then you look at the Lakers, they're coming off a win against the Grizzlies on Tuesday. So 2 days rest for the Lakers. The Lakers are 6-0 to the under post All-Star break when playing on when they're not playing on the second leg of a back-to-back. The only game they had go over was the game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it makes sense because they won the second leg of a back-to-back and Anthony Davis didn't play in that game. So no. Hold on. AD did play in that game. I think no. AD didn't play in that game. AD didn't play in that game. That was the game he rested. Everybody was calling him soft for not playing. Lakers still found a way to win. So no AD. Game goes over. All the games with AD, they go under. In 6 games post All-Star break, without you take away the game from the Thunder where they won the second leg of a back-to-back, those games are averaging about 221 points. So Raptors in 8 games post All-Star break, combining for about 214. We know that they can't score. They typically rely on their defense. They rely on turning teams over and getting out and kind of running in transition with Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet. And then the Lakers, like I said, only combining for about 221 points post All-Star break too. So I know that the Lakers have been going under, and we've been cashing on the unders. I didn't take the last one officially against the Grizzlies, but I was on that under as well. And they've been going under, but I think people are a little scared of this total at 224.5. I'm not. I like the total at 224.5. I didn't make the play yet because I want to make sure nobody's rolled out, but I will probably end up adding the under 224.5 if everything seems right. I'm trying to figure out where the line's moving still. The 2.5 in favor of Toronto, who haven't been playing well recently at all. So those are my thoughts on today's slate. I didn't really go over the Brooklyn and Minnesota game. Not a game that I really like. I do like the under, but I got it this morning. I'm not gonna give it out at 226.5. Don't like that number as well. I will say that both of these teams' offense kind of stink, and that both of their defenses are pretty good. Minnesota also coming off 2 days rest. Brooklyn didn't play their starters. Most of their starters didn't play at all. The few starters that they did play yesterday only played first quarter minutes as well. I was so hesitant to play Mikal Bridges to go under. His points, rebounds, and assists was like 24.5, I think. And I really, really wanted to get there on this under, but I was like, that number a little too low. He came out guns blazing in the first quarter. I think he scored like the first 6, 7, 8 points. And then they yanked him, Coach Vaughn yanked him and he didn't play anymore. So I probably should have sprinkled on his under. Shout out to everybody who looked at Killian Hayes under. I talked about him yesterday. That was a no sweat bet. So official plays for me, I'll post them at the bottom so you guys can see them. Or if you guys are watching on YouTube, and I'm going to go through some of the comments. But if you guys got plays that you want to share, send me a request and I'll get up as many people as I possibly can. I am jumping off about 6:35 so I can get another workout in real quick before I shower and watch the games tonight. So that's what I got for you guys today. I'm going to post my official plays at the bottom real quick. Oh, I actually already got them here. So yeah, Cavs minus the 1.5. Of course, like I said, you get a much better number now at +2 if you want to ride. You think the Cavs are the better team. Take them plus the 2. Jimmy Butler to go over his 27.5 points plus rebounds in that game. Still really like that look, even though I'm on the opposite side as far as the game. And then James Harden over 10.5 assists. I got it at -122. Couldn't talk anybody at playing James Harden 12 assists. Portland is bottom 5 defensively post All-Star break as well, giving up about 120 points per game, which is why I think we see that total move from 229.5 at opening all the way up to 234. So those are my thoughts on that game. I did play Harden 10.5 assists. And Denver first quarter minus the 4.5, Denver first half minus the 7.5. That's what I'm on. So send me your request if you got anything. If not, hit the like button for me. If you guys wouldn't mind, share the show, check out the podcast, all that good stuff. I'm gonna keep the banner up at the bottom for the people who are on YouTube watching, and I'm gonna try to get into some of the comments real quick. Let's see what we got here. Shout out to my guy Uncut. What's up, Uncut? I know we still got to get on the phone, bro. I need one of them caps, my boy. Hey David, DM me, bro, if you still watching. DM me. I got caps, I got hoodies, I got t-shirts. If you guys want them, if you want to show support that way, cool. Just DM me, bro. I got plenty of ChrisBeCappinn caps as well. Love these joints, little trucker caps. Let's see. What y'all on? I'm looking for looks. Jake said I'm looking for a play to play with Caleb Martin, 4.5 rebounds under. Um Honestly, Jay, it's a lot you could take with that. If you, it just depends on where you're trying to get the eyes to. I would take a lot of the baseline numbers today. Maybe you could take it with Harden just to get 10 assists instead of the 10.5 assists. I really like him a lot tonight. Let's see. What else? Cameron said he's on Jakob Poeltl over 2.5 assists. Garland over 7.5 assists. Garland not playing. Cameron, I don't know how you got that one. His prop should be off. Who else? Bill over 1.5 3-point makes, and the Wizards money line. Okay. Cavs minus the 1. Let's ride. Let's go. Simons is ruled in. Okay, that spread should come down then. If Simons got ruled in. Yeah, I see it down to 8.5 at some places. I think low key Portland plus the 8.5 is a good look. I don't think that they get blown out today. I think Philly has to fight for that one. I know that they've been balling, but I would think that they could keep it close. You get Nurkic back, you get Simons back. Cam Reddish role will be diminished a tad bit, but I mean they need the scoring from Simons. They need the defense from Nurkic, and they need Nurkic to be able to stretch the floor as well. I don't know what his minutes low is going to be like, but appreciate you, Mastoni. I did not get that. I hadn't seen that one yet, so I appreciate you sharing that. Derek said he rolled with J Money on Spurs plus 12.5, Toronto minus the 2, and Atlanta minus the 2. Okay. I think Atlanta's the right side in that game. I just can't lay points with Atlanta on the road. But I mean, in a spread that's only 1.5, it does feel like they should win the game. I talked about it earlier today. I think the trend was this season, road favorites who were previous road favorites against the same exact team and they won, they are 4-0 straight up and against the spread in their next game. So couldn't talk you off that one, Derek. Atlanta is the better team against, better than the Washington Wizards, but Washington is at home. They're rested now. That first game on Wednesday was the second leg of a back-to-back after you let Detroit take you to the buzzer. That was their problem. One of the reasons why I should have bet Atlanta in that spot. You can't go to Detroit and have to play your starters in the fourth quarter. Not against that Detroit team. So you set yourself up for a loss the next day. And if I was thinking I should have played them, I should have played Atlanta in that spot because you can't have Bradley Beal in. Bradley Beal should be, getting his knees iced in the fourth quarter against the Detroit Pistons. I don't care where the game at. In Detroit, in Washington, in San Francisco, on Pluto, it don't matter. So they set themselves up for that one. Now the Wizards are, just as rested. And Atlanta got a game tomorrow as well against Boston. So I get money said I bet Kuzma over 21.5, and I tell 2 of your morning picks, Butler points plus rebounds and Harden assists. Okay, let's cash him. I hope we cash him. Cavaliers 4-0 when Garland sits. I actually saw Cavs are 10-0 when Garland sits. They're 8-0 what was it? 8-0-1 against the spread. So they're 9-0. But the Cavs do play well without Garland, which is one of the reasons I'm gonna let this bet ride. Would you look towards Miami team total under 107.5? I absolutely would. Miami has one of the worst offenses in the league. Miami's offense is just as bad as the Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Detroit Pistons. Their offense is really, really, really bad. So I would be looking towards their team total to go under. Absolutely, I would. I didn't play it, but Miami team total to go under 107.5 I think is a good play. If this is the 4th game they play so far this year, then the books are probably pretty sharp on that total. I absolutely agree with that. Anytime teams play 4 times in a row, you're going to get a sharp number. Not be surprised if Cleveland wins. Oh, yeah, it took Portland plus 9.5 this morning. Okay. Best of luck to you there. I hope that cashes. Portland offense is bad right now because there's not a lot of ball movement until late in the shot clock. Yeah, they got to get the ball out of Dame hands. Dame got to be able to score off ball a little bit more. Philly home games go under all day. Philly home games actually been going over Euphoria. If you go look at it, I know I've been looking at that before they went on the road trip. They've actually been going over. Markel said he's on Embiid, 35 points. Blazers team total spiked up 2 whole points to 112.5. Dame hitting 5 threes today. Look at Philly last 4 games. They've given up 5 threes to at least one player. in the last 4 games. Anybody that I trust to hit 5 threes is Dame, and it's at plus money right now. Okay, okay. Dame, Embiid. I couldn't talk anybody off Embiid. He should absolutely feast tonight. Um, Scotty said Anthony Simons is back. Blazers getting smacked up tonight though. Dame and Embiid 35 plus. I don't know what the odds on that is, but that's probably pretty good plus money, Scotty, if you want to take that. Let's see. Shout out to my guy OG Wham in the building. Miami team total under 107.5. Miami number 1 defensive rated team. Lakers money line. Euphoria said he's on locking that in. Gobert over 12.5 rebounds. I like the Gobert look. We know that even though the Brooklyn just signed Nerlens Noel, they still gonna struggle to rebound the ball. He's not gonna play that many minutes being acclimated into the system. And Nicholas Claxton got ruled in, but Nicholas Claxton ain't that big, man. He's not that big. He can rebound the ball, but he's not. Good luck to him. All right, cool. Markel said he took Rudy Gobert rebounds up to 14. Okay. Feels like this might be a dog night. I like the dogs too. I like a few dogs for sure, especially when my Lakers are dogs. I think the Lakers win, Stanley. I do think the Lakers win. Only reason why I'm not betting is because D'Angelo Russell is back, and I'm not. I need to see the Lakers with Russell in, see how much he changed the roster. I will be watching the game, watching and learning for sure. Uncut said he liked the Spurs. I saw my guy J Money on the Spurs today, so they could shock the world. I don't think they're gonna win the game, but maybe they keep it close. I think they get smoked early though, but I think it's just because they're playing against the Nuggets. So that's what I got for you guys. Let me get to some of the requests in the chat, and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. Let me turn this off. I thought my AirPods was connected the whole time. Whole time they weren't even connected. I got Dream up first. What's going on, Dream? How you doing, bro?
What's the vibes, man? How you?
I'm good, Dream. What you on today, my guy? I see you had a nice little 3-leg parlay, a little player performance double last night, plus 1,000. I always tell people follow you, Dream. You're giving out money, bro. But yeah, absolutely, bro. Nice hit last night, man. What you looking at today?
Man, before I even get started, man, them Nets, they had to score like 76 in the second half to kill my team total, though.
Bro, it was crazy. Hey, Jane, I ended up playing that personal too, and it cashed by 2 points. That's under 233.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I took the team total. 10.5, and Cam Johnson just out here, just Cam Johnson.
Oh, getting buckets at the end of the game. I watched him.
I'm like, damn, why, bro?
Right.
Yeah, I just got 2 plays tonight, man. I might sprinkle Thibault to have a real good game, just for some narrative stuff. Because they had like a mural of him in Philly, and they ended up like a thank you mural, and then somebody went over the mural and like spray painted all over it, like disrespectful and all that. So I might like sprinkle his threes or something. But the 2 plays I'm on, Harden over 10.5 assists, and Philly to win the game. I got it at plus 104, 103, something like that. It's probably better now because the line went down a bit. And Joker, we want to call him Jokic. But yeah, Joker, triple-double, and Denver to win. And that's plus 16, plus 116, maybe plus 112, something like that. So it's pretty much the same reasoning behind this. I'm playing this based heavily on their past performance and the league leader in assists narrative. If you look at the league leaders in assists per game, you got Harden, you got Hallie, you got Trae Young, and you got Jokic. And those are the only ones that's averaging 10 plus assists a game. Jokic is right on the number at 10. I don't think it's no coincidence that Halliburton had 19 assists last night. He could have got whatever he wanted, but he was choosing to pass the ball. If you watch the game, he was overpassing almost. triple-doubles. I think he won to lead the league in assists. And I don't think it's no coincidence why Harden had 20 a couple games before that when they played each other. So long story short, I think that Harden is going to try and get as many assists as he can, from here on out, trying to lead the league in assists, just because it looks great for him being a free agent. He's trying to get a max contract, and if he could say, look, I average 17 to 20 points and led the league in assists, I'm a max player. You know what I mean? I was the second option. So aside from that, if you look at the numbers, I think you already mentioned this, Portland gives up like the fourth or third most assists. I sprinkled this double-double plus 700, well, 675. I just looked at 700 right now at DraftKings, but I sprinkled this double-double.
Hold on, who double-double, Dream?
I'm sorry, his triple-double.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I'm about to go sprinkle on it too.
Nah, I sprinkled his triple. Forget a sprinkle.
Right.
Double-double 700. We're not sprinkling.
Right.
But yeah, his triple-double. Long story short, Portland give up either the second or third most rebounds to point guards, and Harden has been one rebound short of a triple-double back-to-back games. So I think this is one of them games where he can get whatever he wants. So I love his assists. I laddered up all the way up to 16, played his triple-double. Love it. Same thing with Joker. Without talking too long, I think he wants to average a triple-double for the season. He's right there on 10 assists right now, averaging 10.0 assists right now. His last two games, he had 8 and 9. I watched him. He was hunting. He just couldn't get the triple-doubles. He wasn't even shooting until he really had to. So I know he hunts these triple-doubles. And there's only so many games left for guys, especially like him, who can clinch. Like, there's 7 games in front of anybody. So they can clinch, like they can maybe in 10 games, I don't know, 12 games, they can clinch if Memphis and whoever is third go on a losing streak and they keep winning. So he's only going to have so many games to make sure that he stat pads to get these numbers up. So why not do it against the awful Spurs? I think he's going to have about 13, 14 assists tonight. I sprinkled all the way up to 16 on PointsBet. I love his assists, so I just played the triple-double. I think he has no problem getting 10 assists. So that's what I'm on. It was something else I wanted to say about you. Oh, so as far as the 16 assists, so I was looking like, damn, 16 assists seems like a lot for Joker, but it's not. He had 16 assists a month ago in 2 or 3 games. So it's really not far-fetched. And last time he played a terrible team, which was Houston, he had 10 assists in like 24 minutes. So I love it.
Okay. So, hey, Jim, I couldn't talk you up either one of those, bro. I really like that. I hadn't thought about taking Harden 10.5 assists in the win. I should have just did that. That's probably what I should have looked at as well. I do think that they get the win. I just never look at player performance doubles. Real quick, Dream, while I got you up. So I was already starting to look at some stuff for tomorrow, and I don't want to go too deep into this, but your boy just got ruled out tomorrow, Dream. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So they 5.5 point dogs. The line hasn't moved yet. They 5.5 point dogs without Ivy at home, without Ivy, without Bogdanovich, without Alex Burke is questionable, but Diallo's done. Isaiah Stewart's probably not going to play. I think the Pacers probably win that game by 15 tomorrow. What you think?
Yeah, the Pacers should smack them, but I thought Holly was questionable.
I don't see Holly questionable. I see Mathurin doubtful because he left the game yesterday.
Okay, see, if Halliburton played, yeah, I love it.
You might be right though. I did feel like I saw him like wincing a little bit at the end of the game because I watched that game last night too.
Somewhere. Let me look at Underdog, man. I could have swore I seen it say he was questionable.
Nah, you're right. Yep, listed as questionable tomorrow. You're right. 47 minutes ago.
Okay, all right. So that's what and shit. Miles Turner too. With Ben already out, so I would just hold off. Either way it go, if your boy out, then it's TJ time. It's TJ McConnell time against that.
That's a fact. He might have 20 assists. Yeah, he might turn to the real Halliburton.
That's a fact.
Okay, I like the looks, Jane. Appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, let me get to Henneman, man. He ain't been up here in a while. Henneman, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, big dog. You doing all right, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I can't complain at all, man. What you got going on for today?
Well, my first thing was I had a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Nurkic being back, Simon's back. there's no way that Lillard doesn't grab 7 assists tonight. Am I wrong?
So
Take a look at it. Take a look at it.
So what I know off the top of my head, Hinneman, is that Philly is actually one of the best team in the leagues as far as like allowing assists to point guards. They just don't give up assists to actual point guards. They might give them up, but let me check it real quick. So I got Fantasy Pros up right now. Let me update this real quick and just to make sure I got the most updated. But I feel like Philly not a team that really give up a lot of assists. Now Dame, we know what Dame can do, but as far as assists to point guards, Philly they give up the 7th least assist to point guards over the season. Over the last 7 games, however, they're giving up the 8th most assists. So I couldn't talk you off, I guess. As long as you don't think Simon's gonna be too rusty.
I mean, I just feel like if you look at the last 3 games, he ain't even had those guys, and he's been starting to push them back up. He had 12 at Detroit, which it's Detroit.
Yeah, that don't count. You can't count that one. You can't count that one.
Yeah, okay. Well, the 8 in Boston, I was like, okay, like he's trying to get his team involved. So I mean, I gotta sprinkle some of his assists, man.
Yeah, and I couldn't talk you off. Yeah, I could not talk you off. I couldn't talk you off, brother.
All right, and then that triple double that homeboy was just talking about for Jokic, I like that a lot. I'm on his points and rebounds though at 35.5. I just like that look.
Who is that? Who is that, Henry?
Jokic.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Damian Lillard for 4 threes. I got Damian Lillard for 4 threes. With James Harden for 3 threes. And the over on the total game on Flip. I put 5 on that, little 5 piece on that.
What you get the total at? 233, 234.
I got the total at 233.
233. Okay.
On the over at -120.
Okay. All right. Best of luck to you, man. I hope you cash it. Appreciate you sharing it.
For sure.
All right. Cool. Too heavy. You up next, my guy. How you doing, man?
Chris, what's up with you? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. Everything good on the East Coast, man. How the West Coast treating you out there?
It ain't too bad. It's been raining a lot in the last couple of days, but other than that, it's cool.
Good. That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. What you got? I know you typically only got one play for us. How many you got for us today?
I got something a little crazy for you today. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you good.
So I did this. I've been on the first quarters a little heavy. I think I tagged you and Dream probably a couple of days ago. Like I've been getting this feel for the first quarter, and first quarter's been being good to me. So right now, I'm on a Miami Heat's team total first quarter over 27.5. They only have not hit this number maybe 2 times, and I think that's because they always find Miami always find themselves in positions where they need to win. They end up getting these big ass leads in the first quarter, and they're trying to, make sure that the lead don't get too great. I think that's a situation that they're probably looking to do today, especially because they lost to Cleveland. So I'm definitely on that. I'm also on Portland Trailblazers first quarter team total over 28.5 because in my look in the last 10 to 15 games they only ain't passed this number 4 times. That's a high rate, and I think that if they want to be competitive with Philly and want to try to get a win on the big dog, they're going to have to come out hot. And I seen a report saying that Chauncey Billups said that Nurkic was going to have increased workload tonight. So I think that will help kind of spread the floor a little bit and maybe slow Joel Embiid down. Not a lot, just a little bit of taste or so. You know what I mean? Just to get them to that 28.5, over 28.5. This is my last play that I'm going to put on the parlay. It's going to probably be a 3-leg. But I had a question. Denver, you said you like Denver first quarter against the Spurs today. My issue is that on one of my books, they got the team total for the Denver Nuggets first quarter, 32.5. Now, I just did my little research, and I looked at the last 12 games, and I wrote all of their first quarter scores down. This is what Denver did in the first quarter in their last 12. 29, 29, 28, 41, 35, 20, 31, 26, 27, 27, 26, 49. some of them low numbers that stand out came against Charlotte, 27 in the first quarter, Orlando, 26 in the first quarter. So I want to know what you think. Do I take the fool's gold? Like, yeah, Denver's supposed to come out and smack the Spurs and they going to hit 33 points? Or do I just go with the trend? They ain't been over this number too often. What would you do?
I'm taking the over, bro. honestly, too heavy. It could be one of them 41-point first quarters tonight, bro. I just feel like, the Nuggets, motivation-wise, they got a lot to prove. I wouldn't take it if I would be totally off this game if they didn't get smacked up against Chicago the other day. You look at the reason why the number's so high is because, one, the Spurs, one of the worst defenses in the league. They just gave up 130 points back-to-back times against the Houston Rockets. And we're talking about the most efficient, best offense in the NBA right now, with the most efficient, best player in the NBA right now as well. And that's not my opinion. That's what the stats say. Like, dude has the highest offensive rating. He going to play the whole first quarter for the most part. Jamal Murray going to be out there doing his thing because he don't got Patrick Beverley and Alex Caruso trying to put him in jail tonight. So I expect them guys to bounce back. Michael Porter Jr. to be knocking down threes. Nurkic, I'm not Nurkic. Aaron Gordon to be, getting to the rim. So, just combine all that with the pace that the Spurs play at, I think the Nuggets going to have plenty of enough possessions to score at least 35 points in the first quarter.
Okay, check this then. You saying that, talking me more on and off. So, the full parlay is going to be Miami over 27.5 first quarter, Portland over 28.5 first quarter, Denver over 32.5 first quarter, and Minnesota to win the first quarter by 1 point. Because I ain't gonna lie, Brooklyn Nets are 1-9.
I saw that.
I'm not fucking with that. I'm fading the hell out of that. So that's for sure what I'm on today, bro.
Yeah, I like Minnesota in the first quarter as well. I do like Minnesota first quarter. I actually might add that as well. I heard my guy Jay talk about it earlier. I didn't play it. I didn't really break that game down into complete detail because I didn't like it too much. But I do like the look. I like all those actually. The only one that scares me just a tad bit, and I'm not gonna talk you off of it, is the Heat to go over there 27.5 just because they're gonna have to score. You know what I mean? Like they just struggle to score sometimes. But I couldn't talk you off of it. I hope you cash it, bro. I like all the legs for sure.
I'm gonna definitely let you know, bro. I appreciate you always letting us come up here and get some game and chop it with us one time.
Absolutely, bro. That's what we're here for, man. We trying to cash as a community, bro. Appreciate you as well. Best of luck on that.
Right on.
Hustle. I'm gonna kick it to you next, and then Vaughn, and then we'll just keep it going. We got a couple more minutes. What's up, Hustle? Long time since you've been up here, man. What's going on?
Chris, what's the deal?
I can't call it, bro. I figured you sent me a request because Paulo went crazy last night, and I liked him too, and didn't even play him, bro.
Man, yeah, I haven't even, man, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't been up here in a while. I turned into just a live king, man. I'm just, live betting has been cashing for me lately, so I haven't been taking too many props crazy like that, not even Palo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been taking everything I can live, live props, live spreads, live point totals and everything. But one prop that has been cashing, or I don't hear a lot of people really talking about, is AD points and rebounds.
41.5. He crushing it. I got it written down, Hustle.
Like, I done did this the last couple games. Even a game where he only had 8 rebounds, he still scored 39 points and still cleared that total. You know what I mean? So I'm on that again today. I think it's at 42.5 today, right? I saw it.
I looked at points bet this morning. It was at 41.5, and I saw that he had hit it 8 times in a row. I just didn't play it yet, but the late games I typically wait, but I love it. I love the look.
Yeah, I love it. I've seen it. I believe it's at 42 right now. We get it at 42, and all day I'm taking that. It's clear. You know what I mean? Should be good money, even though Russell's coming back, and he hasn't played Toronto this season, but I still think he clears it. So I'm taking that. So that's my one I'm giving out for that. Other than that, I'm on a live bet, man.
Okay. Hey, follow Hustle for the live bet action, man. Best of luck, Hustle. I like the look, man. You know I'm riding with AD over the 41.5. I'm definitely hoping you cash it, bro, because we need him tonight.
Absolutely.
Let's cash, bro. Appreciate you. Vaughn, you up next. What up, Vaughn?
Yo, what's good, bro? You hear me good?
Yeah, you good? What's going on with you?
I'm good, bro. Busy day yesterday. I wasn't able to come up and talk about how bad I was the day before.
some guys I coach play at the high school. They won the state title last night, so I had went there and supported them, man. But I got a few plays I'm on, man. Some already talked about. I'm on the Rudy Gobert rebounds. Love that play. I got it at 12.5 on points bet. I played Maxi Point on DraftKings. It was at 20.5 for -125. But everywhere else, I've seen it at like 22.5 and shit like that. Maxi, I think over 23 points the last 6 games. Also, he's seen an uptick in minutes as well. He's been playing about 37, 38 minutes per game. So I love Maxi Point. I played that. I sprinkled on the Capella double-double. I just don't see a game like it. And you talked about it on the Toronto. I listen to everything, but with Capella, he had about 4 or 5 rebounds that they didn't credit him with the other night. So yeah, man, I'm back on that, man. I don't see a game where he doesn't rebound. Well, he rebounds the ball as poorly as he did. I think he should have ended up with about 6 or 7, but they kind of hold him. So I think he bounces back tonight, man. So I'm on the Capella rebounds. If you wanted to play the double-double at +125, I sprinkled on that as well. That might be a lot of it, bro.
No need to force it, Vaughn. Ain't no need to force it, my guy.
The Maxi rebound. The Maxi points, man. I ain't have a whole lot that I like. I played that Denver first quarter, second quarter, and first half. Heavy on Denver tonight. Last 3 games they've been struggling against the Raptors, against the Bulls, and whoever they played before the Raptors. They haven't been playing well. I think they see the Spurs on the schedule and they look to get their shit right. I wanted to play their points, but that 32.5 is a lot. So I just played the first quarter spread on DraftKings. It's -4, so I got a decent line on that. First half -7.5. Second quarter spread -3.5. I played all 3 of them. I played a whole unit on the first quarter, first half, and a half unit on the second quarter. Loving Denver tonight, man. I just sometimes you just got to take the good teams to be good and the bad teams to be bad, and that's a lot of the analysis behind it. So yeah, man, Denver's my favorite player tonight, man. That's all I'm on. Undefeated day, man. I think I cash all this shit tonight.
Put it in the air, Vaughn. Go ahead and put it in the air, bro. I love that energy, man. I love that energy,
yes,
bro. Let's cash it, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. USWNT stand account. You are next. What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. So yeah, appreciate the time. So I think the bet that I'm going with tonight on DraftKings, if you do a 3-player parlay, so it's DeJounte Murray over 19.5. I think DeJounte will get some easy, baskets versus those Wizards. And I think a lot of attention will probably be on Trey. Jimmy over 21.5. Jimmy's going to have to do it for the Heat to even stay close tonight. And then Dame over 31.5. Dame likes to compete. Harden and, Embiid are going to be scoring, and he's going to try to keep them in it. So I think he's going over that. And if those 3 hit their points, it's going to be plus 500 money. So I think.
Are you still there?
And then apart from that, oh yeah, I'm still here.
You broke up just a tad bit. You said DeJounte over his 21.5, which I like. You said Dame over his 31. Other person? I missed one.
And then the other one is Jimmy Butler over 21.5.
Love it. I'm on his points plus rebounds, so I like that look a lot.
Yeah, that one. And then I'm telling people to stay away from this DraftKings Friday favorites. It never hits. Don't get sucked into it.
What is it? What is it today?
Today it's Philly winning, and then it's also the Timberwolves beating the Nets. I'm like, don't trust it. Stay away from it. The Nets can be a sneaky team that, some days they look like the worst team in the NBA. Some days they beat, a top team. It's just a bet, a lot of them is on those 2 favorites. I think over 90% of the money for that Philly game is on Philly. It's just a fishy promotion. I tell people to stay away from it.
Okay.
That's all I got for the night. Yeah.
Hey, best of luck, man. I hope you cash the looks. Definitely hope you cash your looks. Let me get I think I got one or two more requests real quick. Yeah, let me get Meech up real quick. Meech, what's going on, man? Can you hear me? Might not let you connect. Hey, Meech, if you can hear me, the floor is yours. I don't think you connected, though. Might be in a bad area. That's it? Nah, I can't get you up. Yasmin, can you hear me? Nah. Well, I tried. I think that's it, man. I don't got no more requests. No more requests. That's what we got. So yeah, it's perfect timing anyway. 6:35. We got whatever.
Oh, none before you head out, bro. Any shows this weekend or anything you looking forward to tomorrow? I know you probably already started capping tomorrow's game, so just anything you looking for tomorrow, or any shows or anything like that.
I probably won't do a show this weekend at all. I'm gonna just chill. I need to relax. It's bro, getting up and doing these shows twice. I'm doing like 3 shows a day. Not even just my 2. I mean, I know Vaughn, but not even just my 2. But I probably will make a video, like you know what I mean, like just kind of sharing the looks that I get because we got a lot of action tomorrow. We got the Clippers hosting the New York Knicks. I'm not sure if Brunson gonna be in for that game. I think he aggravated that injury again last night, which probably put him out. So the Clippers laying 5 early. Utah and Charlotte. Me and Dream kind of just talked about that game. It should be a prop. Should be a great prop game, especially if Halliburton gets ruled out. I'm gonna be with Dream on TJ McConnell assist for sure. But that should be a really great prop game. I'll probably be on Charlotte team total to go. I'm sorry, on not Charlotte is playing Utah. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Indiana Detroit is what I'm thinking. Indiana defense is really, really bad, but I don't know how they're gonna score tomorrow without Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey is the only one that's out there that can, seem like he can actually get a bucket. So potential look towards Detroit team total to go under again. Not 100% sure what I'm gonna do there. I'll see what the number open at because we don't got total numbers right now. Utah and Charlotte gonna be an interesting game. I don't think I'm laying 3.5 with Utah on the road. I know that they beat the Orlando Magic, but Charlotte can. It's crazy to say this, but it feels like Charlotte is a better home dog than Orlando is a better home favorite. Put it like that. I don't know if I'm laying 4 points, man. I gotta check the status of Jordan Clarkson, but I do see the number coming down to 3 already. So I gotta look at that one a little bit more.
And Charlotte playing defense, don't forget that.
Right, and Utah not playing defense. They're not trying to play no kind of defense. They got hot last night. They really did need that win last night against Orlando. I just think Charlotte, that I gotta look into that one of Miami and Orlando. Or Miami will be on the second leg of a back-to-back. They're already laying 3. This is the spot that you want to take Orlando in. Not last night when they're laying 3, but tomorrow when they're actually catching 3 against the Miami Heat. Probably looking towards the under in that game. Orlando probably going to bounce back defensively. Miami, second leg of a back-to-back. Pretty sure they'll be relying on their defense as well. So I'll be probably looking towards the under in that game. Let's see what else we got. Boston and Atlanta. Boston is laying 5 on the road against the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow. I got to do some digging on that game. Make sure everybody's going to be in. Also see how the game finishes tonight for the Atlanta Hawks. If they play hard tonight and it goes down to the wire against the Wizards, probably jump on Boston early tonight because Boston should be able to win that game by 5 points. Atlanta plays no defense. Boston should be able to get whatever it is that they want and should probably have a full squad tomorrow as well. And then what else? Dallas done already ruled Luka out. He's going to be out for a while. Kyrie, I don't think is out yet. He's listed as questionable. So got to look at Tim Hardaway Jr. props in that game. Chicago's plays Houston tomorrow. They already laying 7. They should. Man, I don't know. I got to look into that one too. It's a tough card tomorrow. OKC in New Orleans. We don't have lines for that. Milwaukee and Golden State. The Golden State Warriors will be another home dog tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. 5 times they've been home dogs this season, I think. They've won every single game. Not just covered, but they've won every single game. Can they beat the Milwaukee Bucks tomorrow? I don't think so. I do not think so. We don't got a line for that game. It's going to be interesting when we do get one. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a primetime game. It's an 8:40 game, so it's probably going to be on ABC or ESPN or something. And then Sacramento plays Phoenix tomorrow in Phoenix, and Phoenix is laying 3 points. Looks like up to 3.5. Interesting game because we know the Kings don't play great offense on the road, and their defense typically gets worse as well. So Phoenix will be without KD, of course, but I got to do some digging on that game as well. So before I close out, my guy Stefan sent the request, so I'm gonna get him up real quick and then we'll close out. But I'll look into these games a little bit more. If I find a couple of them that I really like and find some looks for sure. If not some size, then definitely some player props. Stefan, what's going on, guy? How you doing, man?
Hey, chilling, bro. Question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
You're the Laker expert. What are your thoughts on Van Vliet's assist tonight? Because I know he's been killing this and doing that pick and roll with Jakob Poeltl. But I see that like Jakob kind of struggled against AD. So I was wondering. I had 2 questions. That was my first one. My second one is, we play on Sunday, Knicks Lakers. What are your thoughts on that game? Just an early read, 2 days out.
Yeah, so I mean, them really good questions. So first thing I'll say is Lakers are middle of the pack as far as allowing assists to point guards over the last 7 games. We know that their defense has really picked up since the trade. But Fred VanVleet has the ball in his hands so much. I think even with Toronto struggling to score the ball like they do, somehow he still continues to go over this number. I know people have been playing it at 7.5. He didn't hit it every game since the All-Star break. So I think he could still go over the night time. I wouldn't bet the under. Just put it like that. I wouldn't bet the under, especially when you add D'Angelo Russell back into the mix. D'Lo, if he's matched up on D'Lo, I can see him blowing by D'Lo, getting to his spot and finding his guys for sure. So I like Fred VanVleet assist. I think just based off the live cap stuff.
Okay.
And then when we play y'all, man, that's gonna be tough, bro. I think y'all gonna be looking for the bounce back. What's your thoughts on Brunson? You think he gonna play or not?
I mean, they really should just give him like a week off. But Thibodeau's crazy. Like I think there's a chance that they may push him. Like there's a chance he may play tomorrow, which is kind of crazy to me. So for Sunday, obviously after we just saw what Sabonis did, the thing I hate that I overlooked was the fact that like we just struggle versus these mobile bigs that can go off the dribble and whatnot. So I obviously look for Anthony Davis. It's kind of go crazy there with his points, rebounds, something like that. And Malik Beasley, I haven't looked into it at all, but obviously his usage is like kind of going down for Corey. He's just like the kind of guy that can get hot versus us. Oh, and I really like if Brunson doesn't play. I hate RJ on Saturday. I'm taking his unders because he's not going to do anything on PG or Kawhi, but I love him on Sunday.
RJ?
Yeah, I just think that like RJ is that kind of a guy where like he only has like one speed. Like if he can bully his way to the lane, like he has like no bag. Like if he can bully his way to the lane, he can finish around the cup. The Knicks may need the points because if Brunson's not in there. But like those are just like early leads. I haven't like looked at a ton into it.
I mean, I think they make a lot of sense to me. I think they definitely make a lot of sense to me, especially the AD, especially Malik Beasley, because y'all give it up, to the 3-point line most of the time. So I cannot talk you off of any of those. I think those are definitely solid, like you said, solid looks early, without having to, actually live cap the game. And I kind of feel like we probably gonna end up putting, we'll be on it. Y'all be on the second leg of a back-to-back too, because y'all got the Clippers, and y'all be on the third game in 4 nights. So the Lakers might, that spread is gonna be condensed because of that. So I could see that, being a really, really difficult game for both of us. I'll probably be looking towards the under, especially with y'all being able to bounce back defensively and us playing at such a slow pace. That.
Yeah, sir. I appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna be telling that Denver and the I like the both, so appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, let's cash him, man. Let's cash him for sure. So official plays for me, I just kind of I talked about them, but I posted them on YouTube as well. If people want to, if people watching, picks in description. Yeah, those are the ones that I'm on. Small play for me on Denver first quarter, first half, but I did play both of those minus the 4.5, minus the 7.5. Also played the Cavs minus the 1.5 this morning. If you want that number, you can, you probably Darius Garland gets ruled out officially, it's probably going to, you know, drop at least another half point. You can get the Cavs plus 2.5 most likely, you know, sometime here soon. And then I also played, so Jimmy Butler over his 27.5 points, Harden over his 10.5 assists. Denver first quarter and Denver first half was the strongest looks that I found based on the research that I did. Also, really, really like, haven't gotten there yet, Portland first quarter plus the 3, Portland first half plus the 5, Clint Capella over his 11.5 points, Atlanta Washington under 238, Minnesota first quarter. I forgot who mentioned that. DJ Hustle might have mentioned that. Somebody mentioned, no, it's Too Heavy that mentioned Minnesota first quarter. 80 points plus rebounds. Could not talk anybody off of that. He's been, I think he's 6 for 6 in the last 6 games. And then, yeah, those would be the link. And Toronto and Lakers to go under 224.5. So hopefully you guys were already, you know, looking towards some of those ways, and that helps you guys, you know, kind of make the plays that you want to make. But officials, Cavs minus the 1.5. Of course, you can get a better number. Denver first quarter minus the 4.5. Denver first half minus 7.5. Jimmy Butler over 27.5 points plus rebounds. And then Harden to go over his 10.5 assists as well. Our official plays. Leans, again, Toronto Lakers under 224. Portland first quarter plus the 3. First half plus the 5. Capella over the 11.5 points. Atlanta Washington under 238. Minnesota first quarter. AD over 41.5 points plus rebounds. I didn't play any of those leans, but as the night goes on, I might add a few. So that's what I'm on. Best of luck to you guys tonight, man. If you could, please hit the like button for me. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys haven't already as well. Let's get some cash tonight, man. I'll probably make a video with my favorite looks for tomorrow and post it on YouTube and, you know, pin it on Twitter as well. Best of luck to everybody tonight. I'm out.